Man, we're live. What's going on? Can you view like the chat? Live chat. Okay, I should be able to see the chat now. Um, I'll wait for a couple people to get in here and stuff, but it's it's a thing. I broke my finger. What up, Talladega Homegrown? How's it going? Rainier, how you doing, man? So, it's a long story. Um, I'll wait for a couple other people to get in here right now, but yep, here it is. I broke my finger. It's actually a pretty brutal story. So, well, I mean, it's not brutal, but like if you're squeamish about stuff, just kind of keep that in mind. It might get a little ugh at times. So, if you're a little squeamish, now would be the time to click away. But if you're good with like squeamish stories and stuff like that, then sweet, I'll tell you the story. So it's it's crazy, how everything happens. So as some of you may know, I'm actually in Ecuador right now in Quito, and we went to a place called Tena, and in Tena it's very like jungle. It's literally part of the Amazon jungle, and there's like a ton of rivers and stuff like that, and it's really cool. It's really chill, and we went to a river with my cousin, and like my brother and my mom's boyfriend at the time were just kind of like swinging from a rope into a river, and they were trying to like do like a little course to see who got the best time or whatever. And I was noticing like where they were kind of slowing down at, and I was like, you know what? If I tried, I could probably cut down on that time. And granted, I'm fat. I'm 219 pounds, and I like from the get go, I probably should have known that it was gonna like end badly for me. So, like the whole day, I wasn't gonna get in the river. I wasn't gonna do anything. I wasn't gonna jump off anything. I literally wanted to go over there and just chill, and finally, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to do this little course, because it was my idea in the first place, and so I was like, whatever. So I grabbed the rope, I grabbed it with my both hands, and I jumped off and I went in. But because I'm heavy, my legs kind of splashed into the water. And as soon as that happened, my top hand, which wasn't on like a little knot, it was just kind of on the rope itself, and my bottom hand that was on the knot, like my finger was on the knot. I didn't let go of this one in time. Actually, and so this is how the finger normally is. I just pictured this like twisted that way, and the rest of it is like straight, and it was just like, like I didn't notice it though. So like I broke it like sideways, and I went into the water and I started swimming so hard. And the thing was that I got really scared that I was actually gonna drown because the current was really strong because it was like right next to a small waterfall. So I kept going, and I put this hand on a rock, and on the rock itself, I saw my finger, and I was like, that's not the way my finger's supposed to look, And my mom was like taking a video, and my cousin was timing ridiculous. So I grabbed my finger, moved it. I was able to do like, it was just one at that time, and I was like, damn, this is ridiculous. So I put it. I told my mom like, yo, I just broke my finger. And she was like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, like my fingers like back into place." And she's like, "Okay." And then she turned around and apparently she put her head between her legs because she didn't want to throw up. And my grandma, she was at the very top of the mountain on the other side that I was at, and she was like, "Oh, haha, did you hurt your hand?" And I was like, "Yeah, I hurt my hands. Don't look." But like it looked fine. So I put it in the water and stuff, and it was just kind of like there. It was like pretty painful. It was getting painful. The water was really cold, so it was kind of acting like an anti-inflammatory in a sense. So I just kind of just let it chill in the water. I was moving my finger around. When I would close my fist, this is how it should normally look. This finger was kind of like that way, and I was like, that's not good. So we ended up going to the hospital, and at the hospital over here, apparently all the hospital visits are free. You can just go in and get like X-rays and stuff, and that's what I did. I got X-rays, and apparently, when I had popped it back in, okay, so but actually, so like this part of your finger, the first part where it bends right there, I didn't break it right there. That was just like that would have been great. It actually bent a little bit underneath that. The bone itself, like this middle bone right here, it broke like right there, and I was like, Jesus, like this is ridiculous. And when I had popped it back into place, I didn't put it in the right spot, which was stupid. And I was like, damn it, I'm gonna have to like, get it reset or whatever. Because it was like teeth almost. It wasn't a clean break, it was just kind of a fracture, which sucked. But there was like no bleeding, there was no broken skin, everything was okay, relatively. I'm doing this, but I can't because I can't bend this finger. So the doctors were like, we're gonna have to break it again so that we can set it in the right spot. And I was like, oh my god. And they pulled out this big old needle that was about that long. They're like, we're gonna like put local anesthesia on it. And I was like, I can't do needles. Like I can't do needles. I can't function. And like I was just like starting to like literally shake because of the fear of the needles. That and the room was like frigid cold because they had the AC blasting. But I had my hand there, and the girl that was doing it, she was like, you know what, if you really don't like needles, we can not put the anesthesia on there, and we'll break your finger and it'll really hurt. And I was like, let's do that. And like the dude was like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, do you know how painful this is? And I was like, as long as I don't deal with the needle, like it's fine. Oh my god. So I grabbed like the bottom of my shirt, and I bit it like, oh god, and I gripped it like so hard. They're like, are you ready? And I was like, my cousin was there with me, and he's like, all right, here we go. And I was like, damn it. And like they were already squeezing it, and then they did it, and they like pulled it out of place, and I was like, oh my god. Like I couldn't. It was so painful. It was like ridiculously painful. It was terrible. So they they were trying to do it, and I couldn't do anything. And I was like, I pulled my arm back, and I was like, I can't do this. And then I just gave them my hand again. They're like, I was just like, just do it. And like they pulled it and yanked it and put it into place, and it was the most excruciating pain that I have ever felt in my entire life, and it was terrible. Oh my god. So I'm out of breath because it's like higher elevation over here, but they finally set it into place, and it was really painful. But again, there was like no bleeding, there was no broken skin, thankfully. And so then they said, okay, well, you can either have that just done, or we can either put a metal rod in it. And I was like, I don't want no metal rod sticking out of my finger, so just give me the stint, and that'll be it. And they were like, all right, we'll give you the stint, and there you go. And then they wrapped it up like this, but now it's falling apart. But it was pretty painful. I've never experienced anything like that in my life, but it was a memory. It was difficult to deal with, but like, and like emotionally, like I went back to my room where we were staying, and I just kind of like broke down because now I've been feeling really bad about like my weight and like how heavy I am, and I was really blaming myself about like how I'm not strong enough and like how I'm too fat and this and that. So I'm gonna be making some changes, with my dieting, with my exercise, so I can get a little bit more active and start walking more and doing stuff like that, just to kind of better my health, because my health is pretty crappy right now. So other than that, I am in two pieces rather than like 10. And to you guys that were saying that you guys have been through worse, you know, I I don't know how badly a foot or a leg break is, but I know how bad this one was. So kind of feel you, but at the same time I really don't. But I just kind of wanted to tell you guys about it because I was gonna try to vlog this whole like trip, but it was really hard for me just because I didn't really have um, like my camera or nothing like that. So, but other than that, thank you guys for listening to the story. If you like this video, please give it, a good old thumbs up or a middle finger up. But now, like, I have a really good excuse to like flip cameras off, like when we're taking pictures and stuff. So, thank you guys so much. And here's my brother, if you want to say hi. But yeah. So thank you guys very much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I don't know how this is gonna affect my streaming or my video game playing because this is my clicky finger. Maybe I'll go like that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll play around with it and. I just thought it'd be a really cool story to tell you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Send it to whoever you want. If they've gone through a finger break, an arm break, a leg break, or whatever. So I'm out of breath because we just got back from the forest where it's nice and green to the city where there's like smog and high elevation. So, all right, my dudes, I will catch you all later. How do I end the stream from my phone? No, that's not it. Oh, yeah. Okay, bye.